from Brooklyn, football with the fellas. It's all about Big Blue. Here with a response to my man Mezo's recent post asking if we should trade for Kyle Pitts, tight end from the Atlanta Falcons. And I'm going to say an emphatic no. I do not want to trade for Kyle Pitts. If Kyle Pitts was a free agent and we could bring him in for a look-see with, a veteran minimum salary with a lot of incentives, I would certainly consider that. Frankly, I don't even know if I would, be rushing to do that. I think our tight end room is fine. But worse than that is that he's not a free agent and we would have to give up draft capital. And the articles that Mezo quoted suggested that it would take day 2 draft picks to get him, or a day 2 draft pick. And we only have one day 2 draft pick next year, and it's a second rounder. Because as he mentioned, we had already traded away our third rounder to get Jackson Dart. So as of now, we have a first, a second, and a fourth, etc. If we were to trade a second round pick for Kyle Pitts, then we would have a first and a fourth next year. I'm not sure that Kyle Pitts is even the best tight end on our team if he were on our team. And to give up our second round pick next year, and we've already given up our third round pick, I am not down with that at all. So I get that he's a talented athlete and that he had a very good rookie year. He hasn't really done much since that rookie year, though. He's had 3 years in a row of constantly declining production. And frankly, he was on the same team at University of Florida with Kadarius Toney. And didn't we already get bitten by the University of Florida snake with Kadarius Toney? So I don't know if I want anybody else from that team. So no, I do not want him. I don't think that he's that good a tight end. I think we have a decent tight end room already. And I definitely don't want to give up a second round pick next year when we already don't have a third. Frankly, if they were to take a fourth round pick for him, I'm not sure I'd want that either, but at least then we'd have a first, a second, and a fifth, etc. next year. So no, I think that the ask is way too big for someone who isn't that good and isn't that much better than what we have already, in my opinion. I think Theo Johnson is going to be a very good tight end. I think Chris Manhertz, as Mezo mentioned, is a very, very good blocking tight end. So we have the pass catching tight end and the blocking tight end already accounted for. I think Daniel Bellinger is a pretty good combination of the two. I think he's a pretty good blocking tight end, not as good as Manhertz, but not bad. And he's a pretty good possession receiving tight end, not as good as Johnson, but not bad. But we already have him. He costs a little bit more than he probably is worth as far as how often we use him and how much we get out of him. So I worry that he'll be a cap casualty because of that. But, Kyle Pitts is going to cost almost $11 million this year and then is a free agent. So he's certainly going to be looking to get paid again next year. So we're in a no-win situation. If he has a bad year, then why did we do it? And if he has a good year, he's going to want more than $11 million next year. No thanks. So I'm sorry, Mezo, I can't have you back on this one. I do not want Kyle Pitts. Again, I don't want him even, I'm not sure I would want him if he was a free agent. I definitely don't want to trade for him. Now, that said, there are some free agents out there that I would love for us to take a look at. I was just taking a look at the remaining free agents in the NFL this year. And the two that jumped out at me are safety Julian Blackmon, who is a 26-year-old safety from the Colts, who is a free agent now, who is a very solid safety. He's not a great safety, but he's a solid safety. I think he is more established than Tyler Nubin. I have more confidence that he'll do well than Tyler Nubin would. And I'd much rather have Tyler Nubin be the third safety than, say, Dane Belton. I do have hopes that Makari Page, the undrafted free agent that we signed, actually might beat out Dane Belton, but that's a different story for a different time. I'll just say that Julian Blackmon is a free agent, free safety, that if he's still a free agent now, in early June, then he's obviously not in, position to demand a huge salary. Maybe an incentive-laden salary, but I think he can be someone we can afford. And the other person that I would consider strongly is wide receiver Amari Cooper. Now, Cooper is going to be 31 years old this year, and so he's not a spring chicken by any means, but Amari Cooper was a really good wide receiver for a number of years. I believe he's had 7 seasons of 1,000 yards in the NFL. And, that's not bad in his 10-year career. He's a great route runner, and he's someone that I believe teams in the league will respect enough to put enough attention on him to help Malik Neighbors have less attention on him, which helps Malik Neighbors do well, right? I mean, if you've got really good receiver and then not such good receivers, then all the focus on the defense goes on your really good receiver. But if they think you've got 2 or 3 really good receivers, then they have to spread that out, and then that makes Malik Neighbors' job easier. And Theo Johnson's for that matter. So I think Amari Cooper with an incentive-laden contract and Julian Blackmon with an incentive-laden contract make a lot more sense than Kyle Pitts. But that's just what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Clay from Brooklyn, Football with the Fellas, all about Big Blue. And
Big shout out to El Marquis Productions, the talent behind the music and production here at Football with the Fellas. It's all about Big Blue. Their beats bring energy and excitement to every episode. El Marquis' skills in mixing, mastering, and creating top quality sound make the podcast come alive each week. For your own projects, check out lmarquisproductions.com and take your sound to the next level.